I don't know about you all, but I'm starting to have my doubts about all these kids that have been listening to so much of this friggin' heavy metal music that's been playing on the radios all the time. You know who I'm talking about. You got all those friggin' devil worshippers like friggin' Nickelback and I don't know, friggin' Bon Jovi. You got Shea. They're all in that same group. They're just friggin' ripping people's head off all the time, so there's blood shooting left and right. And these kids wouldn't even know what to do with some good animal blood to begin with. I mean, they friggin' covered their bare-chested bodies with it. You could paint a whole friggin' lobster boat with that crap. You see them in the grocery store and you try and give them one of those old how you doing chummies, and they just look at you for a few seconds, and then they bow their head real low, and then they bring it up and they say, "Ah!" Must be trying to learn friggin' Esperanto or something for all I know. I don't fucking give a crap. Then you got these folks over in Norway that been burning down churches so they ain't nowhere for people to have their local bean suppers. What's a person to do? At the very least, though, they didn't burn down the town lobster pound, or else they'd be in a real pickle. And I ain't talking about the kind that's soaked in dill. But at the end of the day, I guess when worse comes to worse, at the very least, these kids aren't listening to smooth jazz all the time and playing friggin' saxophone all around town like Kenny G. What these heavy metalers ought to do is start dressing more like the kids on Lawrence Welk, wearing sweaters and khakis and trying to help Eisenhower get reelected. That's what we need in this country. They might even join the Boy Scouts so they could get some more fancy old patches to put on their clothes. I remember back when I was a kid, we had a rock and roll band called the Aroostook County Massacre, and we went on tour everywhere from Arundel to South Berwick. But then, one of our tambourine player had a heart attack because he tried mixing his Moxie and his Allen's coffee brandy, and then they sent him to the hospital, and he was so wired that he jumped right out the window. But ain't that the way she goes sometimes?